Oop. No, unless they're too mealy. Oh, dang. Good morning, beautiful people. It has been a little bit since we have caught up with you. You can probably hear from my voice why. We've been under the weather a little bit, not awful, but enough to just feel kind of cruddy. It's been slowly one person at a time for like a week and a half now, and we've just been, you know, laying low, being low-key, just kind of catching up on rest and doing what we can. And then of course the boys have been working in between there, and you know, our usual stuff of everybody's still got to eat and whatnot. So haven't been vlogging, but I am here today to do some things, invite you into my kitchen, and also wish you guys a Merry Christmas for those of you who celebrate. This should be coming out Christmas Eve, so it's the night before. So if you are celebrating Christmas, I wish you a very, very, very Merry Christmas, and I hope it is peaceful and quiet and joy-filled, and you are just surrounded by family and the people you love and all the important things. And I hope you're eating really good food. On that note of food, I'm kind of doing prep work today for our holiday festivity eating, feasting if you will. This is not for feasting, but I have some yogurt straining. I made some yogurt the other day by request of Buggy, so I've got that straining because we like it a little bit thicker. I've got some sourdough mixed up and rising because we will be having clam chowder for dinner tomorrow, and we like to have it in sourdough bread bowls. My sourdough starter was a little old. I hadn't fed it. I've not been keeping up with it the last couple days as I have been sick, but it was still kind of bubbly, so I'm hoping it's good. If it's not, if it totally flops, it's fine. I'll just make yeast bread. But the idea is to make sourdough bread to go with it. And then today I have some older milk from the raw milk that we buy, and I'm going to be making some quick cheese with that. So I'm going to get started on this, and then I want to make a treat today. I have some apples that need using up, and the boys have really been requesting either apple donuts or fritters, or you know, something along the lines of like crispy fried apple things. So I'm hoping to be making some apple fritters today. So I'm gonna get the milk going. This is gonna be super quick cheese. This is just a fresh farm cheese. Heat the milk to 185 and then turn it off and add just enough, I do apple cider vinegar, just enough apple cider vinegar to get it to coagulate and curd up, and then we'll strain it and just make some fresh cheese with salt. So let's get that started. So this isn't super old. This is just the stuff that we got not last week, but the week before. In the last week, we usually buy on Thursday or Fridays. And so the nice thing about raw milk is it doesn't go putrid like pasteurized milk does. It just goes sour. And even though this isn't sour yet, it's not quite as sweet as when it's super fresh. And you know, we don't enjoy it as much in like coffee and things like that. So what I like to do with it is make fresh cheese, because it makes great fresh cheese. And that's the cream that's glugging out right there. Pop a thermometer in it, and like I said, we're going for 185. This will take a little bit. Oops, I could break my thermometer. Alright, I'm gonna jump in real quick and get the apple fritters dough made, the batter, whatever you want to call it. But before I do that, I wanted to remind you guys real quick, I talked about this in one of my last videos, that Backwoods Home and Self-Reliance magazines, they're doing a deal for us, so you can get 50% off of either a single or a double subscription, your choice. Just a reminder, we love these magazines. We've really enjoyed them since Sam at Backwoods Home has been sending them to us, and they are great. They're filled with information, very few ads, and if you are looking for a last-minute Christmas gift because maybe you weren't on it this year, don't feel bad, I wasn't entirely on it this year. This would be a great last-minute Christmas gift, and you could just print out the, you know, the subscription receipt and, you know, hand it to whoever, or you could just say, hey, I got this for you for Christmas, because like I said, this should be coming out Christmas Eve. And so if it is Christmas Eve and you do not yet have a gift for the person you need to get a gift for, a magazine subscription would be a fantastic idea for that. But we do love these magazines. They are great. Like I said, filled with lots and lots of information. You don't even really have to be a homesteader necessarily to enjoy these magazines, because they still cover a lot of things from like canning and recipes, you know, curing pork belly, various things like that. So even if you don't have like pasture and you're not raising your own animals, it's still really cool information to have, and they're really fun magazines, and there's some like fun comics and stuff. So Backwoods Home magazine, I will pop a link for you guys below. Great gift either for Christmas or New Year or whatever that you might feel the person in your life needs these magazines for. Alright, on the note of the apple fritters, I've done this various ways. Peel them, shred them, and use that. I'm going to run these through the apple core because I don't feel like sitting here fiddling with peeling apples. Oop. No, unless they're too mealy. Oh, dang. Maybe I will be actually peeling and shredding these. Okay, well, like I said, I needed to use them up. So I guess we'll be peeling and shredding these. Yeah, that one's yucky. This one's too yucky. No. Okay, not that one. Okay, that one's not too bad. Why don't you peel that half? So, earlier this year in October, right after the hurricane, not right after, but a couple weeks after, we went up into the mountains and found some farms that were still open, and we wanted to, we go up there anyways to buy apples, but we wanted to make sure we were putting our money into communities that needed it. We went up and got apples, and we buy a couple bushels at a time, probably about 5. And a lot of them we put in the fridge for use later, because they'll stay better in the fridge. And then a couple, probably about a bushel or so, we kept out here in the kitchen. And, we eat them slowly over time, but we didn't eat all of them before they started going mushy because they're not kept in the fridge. They're, it's a bit warmer in here, so they don't last as long. So, these ones have slowly been coming to their end, and now it's time to use them up. But it looks like the pigs might be enjoying some apple snacks more than we will. Alright, I've got a couple that have some bad spots on them. Obvious bad spots, so we'll cut those off. This one's a little bit firmer because we pulled this out of the fridge not too long ago. These ones here are Granny Smiths, and they last a pretty long time, but obviously no, they're Granny Smiths. Without refrigeration, they don't last quite as long. These are Evercrisps. These are our favorite apple, and they are fantastic. They hold up really well, especially if kept under refrigeration, but even when not. Last year, we had them last quite a few months, actually, without going squishy. But their flavor is incredible. Their crunch is delicious, and they're really good keepers. Let's get these shredded, and we'll see if we need any more. Applesauce. Applesauce? Yeah, that one was... Tried to shred it and just mushed. Made applesauce. Yep. Secret ingredient is a tiny bit of yourself in there.
This tastes quite bad.
Does it? It tastes quite bad. Okay, well you can put it in the pig bucket if you want. That's fine. Okay, you can see the apples are kind of browning a little bit, so I'm going to throw some lemon juice in here real quick. And these are going to sit while I go deal with the cheese. Alright, we are at 178, so I take this to 180, 185. So we are pretty much there. So I'm going to grab some apple cider vinegar, and then we will get this cheese coagulating. Alright, so turn the heat off. And there's not a specific measurement for this, it's just however much it takes to coagulate it. And I've put the camera right there, so I hope you guys can see the change. But it's not going to be a whole lot. It's going to be like 1/4 cup, 1/3 of a cup kind of thing. Stir in just enough to get it to set up. You can see it's already kind of starting. I just do little bits at a time until it's done, because I don't want to overdo the vinegar taste, because it does carry through into the cheese a little bit. We don't mind it. We actually like it. You could do it with white vinegar, you could do it with lemon juice, but it's really starting to clump up now. I'm going to say a tiny bit more. So it's a pretty obvious delineation between curds and like a yellowish whey. Almost a yellow-green. Yep, I'd say that's pretty good. Hopefully you guys can see that. See all these nice big fluffy curds. And then if we move those out of the way, out of the way. You can see the way. See that yellowish, greenish liquid. Now I actually like to add some salt now. And I leave this in the way for a little while, just to kind of let it finish acidifying and whatnot, and to melt the salt into it, and it kind of flavors the cheese a bit better, I feel. So I'm going to leave this a little while I finish working on the apple fritters, and then we'll get this straining. I don't use a specific recipe or anything for my apple fritters. I just kind of eyeball it, so it's however many apples I need to use up, and then some milk, and some eggs, and some flour, and probably some cinnamon. A little salt. Salt makes things delicious.
And is that cinnamon?
Oops, yeah, that's cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
I like to make it kind of milky so I can get a good batter out of it. And then I'll add flour. I'm going for a little bit thicker than a pancake batter probably. Oh, and baking powder. I shouldn't forget baking powder. That's important too. Probably...
I was just thinking about baking powder.
You were? Probably about a tablespoon. Get that mixed in. We'll probably need more flour. Okay, I think that's about as thick as I want it. So I'm going to move that cheese over there and get a pot of lard heating up. It's getting a little tight in here. I'm running out of places to put you guys, but it's alright, we'll figure it out. Okay, this is about 370, way more actually. Turn that down. Okay, we're at about 390. A little bit higher than I want. I was going for 375. It's alright, it'll cool down when I put this in it. So I have a meatball scooper. I'm just going to drop these in. They're going to puff up beautifully and fry. And we're looking for golden brown and delicious all the way. Alright. That looks pretty good to me. What do you think? I'm going to stab the center of this and see. Nope. Nope, not yet. That says 73. That's not as hot as I would like it. I'm going to grab one of these, and I'm going to pop it open, cut it open, and make sure that it is cooked on the inside. So close. Alright. Not quite. You can see. You can see it's a little gooey. Alright, I'm actually going to throw this back in. Just open like that, it'll be fine. I'm going to throw the other ones back in just to finish them off, because there's nothing worse than a gooey centered apple fritter thing.
Are they going to taste good?
Are they going to taste good? I hope so. That's the plan.
205 is pretty good.
Yep.
And it's pretty hot.
That's probably good. Okay. I'm going to pull these. They're hot.
Is it good?
It's alright. It actually needs some sugar. So I'm going to put some sugar on the inside. I'm going to turn it way down because it's way too hot. And we'll wait. We'll try again in a little bit. Alright. That's better. Better with sugar for sure. So we're going to keep going. Eventually we'll be done. Definitely better with more sugar. Cook through a bit more. Yeah, these are good. Those apple fritters are frying away, doing their thing. I'm going to come back over here and deal with this cheese. I've got a strainer in a pot with some loose weave towel in it. I'm going to strain it in here because I want to keep that whey because we can feed it to the pig. I know this pot is not going to hold all of this whey because it's only a 1 gallon pot. Woo! So I'll pour up enough to where I can see the cheese, and then we'll grab it out. gonna let this sit and drain for a little bit longer, and then we'll salt it some more. Yep, that is good. All right, this I'm gonna leave just the way it is. We will actually snack on this throughout the day, and we'll eat it over the next couple days. But what's left, I will put in the food processor, just with a blade, and whir it until it's like creamy, and it makes like a ricotta consistency. And I use that as ricotta. So it's super quick and easy. And then I just store it in pint jars in the freezer. So whenever I need ricotta for like lasagna or something like that, like cheese dip, whatever, I can just pull it out, defrost it, and we're good to go. So this is a great way to use up milk, raw milk, that it's on its way out. And we love it. We love it as the cheese, and then we love it as ricotta. And, you know, it condenses all your like gallons and gallons of milk that are starting to go turning, because they don't go bad, they just turn. Starting to turn to, you know, a smaller, more manageable, more edible product for you to use. All right, here's my beautiful pan of slightly goldener than golden brown, more brown than gold, apple fritter donut things. So they don't need this, but I'm going to do this because they're plenty sweet, but it just makes them really pretty. I'm gonna dust them with powdered sugar. The boys are on their way home from work today, and they're gonna be so tickled that I made these. So I'm just gonna dust them up, make them real pretty, and they'll be ready for the boys when they get home. There we go. Ooh, that one's in the way.
Oh. What are these?
Must not be that sick.
Apple fritters.
I walked in and was like, oh, I recognize that smell.
Oh, goodness.
Precious.
Oh my gosh, that light is terrible. Holy cow. Sorry, y'all. Okay, can't see, but we're gonna do the next thing I gotta do. All right, the last thing I need to do today to prepare for Christmas is brine the turkey. So, usually I do this in a pot. I will be making the brine in a pot today, but we're gonna have to brine the turkey in a cooler because my 5-gallon pot is currently corning beef. I don't have any other way to brine this turkey because it's a massive 24-pound turkey. So I'm gonna make the brine and we'll do it in the cooler, and it'll be fine. We'll just say it's good. So usually I do this with some apple juice. It makes a really, really good brine for your turkey, but I'm actually out of apple juice right now. So we're just gonna do salt and sugar and all the aromatics and stuff, and we'll call it good. And it'll just be apple juice less, but it'll still be tasty. Sorry for the dismal light. Yesterday was the shortest day of the year. It is winter in the northern hemisphere, and all of the sun is shining in through the window. Like literally all of the sun in the world is shining in through our kitchen window right now. I have a gallon of water in this pot. I'm going to be making 4 gallons of brine. 2 cups of salt, 1 cup of sugar. That's the base. You could stop there if you wanted to, but I don't. Alright, I do a sprinkling of peppercorns. It's probably about 2 tablespoons worth. Thyme, dried thyme. Probably about a tablespoon. Allspice berries. Also about 2 tablespoons. Plus a stick, apparently. Crushed red pepper. Maybe a teaspoon. Bay leaves. Whoop. 2, 3, 4, 5. Cinnamon stick. Set this over medium until the sugar and the salt melt into this water. Obviously, like I said, this is a 4-gallon brine. So I'm getting this 1 gallon ready, and then I'm just going to dump ice into it until it cools off. This is a 2-gallon pot, so I'll fill it with ice. That'll get me half of it, and then we'll do ice and water to get the rest of the way. And I don't know if this will cover the turkey entirely in the cooler, which is fine. We'll put the turkey in breast side down, and it'll cover as much of the turkey as it covers. At least it'll get the breasts brined, which we want, especially for the breasts, because breasts tend to dry out more when they're cooking, and the brine will help keep it juicy, as well as adds flavor and seasoning ahead of time. We've been brining our turkeys for probably 10 years now, maybe 10 years? Yeah, about 10 years now, and we will never go back. It is the best thing ever to do to a turkey. It is delicious. You can also brine chickens, pork chops, like you can brine any kind of meat ahead of time, but turkey especially is particularly delicious when it is brined and then slow cooked over time, maybe basted with some butter if you feel like it, smoked on a pig roaster like Ben did for Thanksgiving. It's all delicious, but the brining is the key. Braining is different. You're braining the turkey. I don't know why you would. Fish leather. Why would you make fish leather? It's waterproof. The salt and sugar is melted. I'm going to turn this off and let it steep for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, just to help get all the flavors out of the peppercorns and the allspice berries and the cinnamon and all that. And then we'll come back and add our, I'm tired, we'll come back and add our ice and then get the turkey in it. I would say the apple fritters were a hit.
That was a really good idea, putting this in a bucket.
That's all I had.
Where do you want it?
It's gonna go in that.
In that?
So. Giant turkey from our friends at Sow the Land. Alright, there we go. I think it needs to go breast side down. Alright, there we go. It's very cold right now, so our well water, I mean it's still what, 50 degrees, 55, yeah. But it feels really cold.
What you think, Chunka Monkey? That turkey's bigger than you.
Much bigger.
Like double your size. What you think? I don't know.
Okay, well, all the breasts on one side, most of a leg.
Well, we could always rotate, right?
Yeah, we can. We're gonna have this in for 2 days. Usually we do turkeys overnight, like 24 hours, but it's such a massive turkey
It's a
that
massive
I was
turkey.
like, 2 days won't hurt.
It's not as big as our Thanksgiving turkey.
No, it's not, but it's still quite large. Sure, that's all in the cavity, so it gets all in there. Ooh, that's cold water. Alright. Yeah, just leave this all this. That'll work. That is actually going to go outside because it's been staying quite cold. And it will be until Christmas. So it'll just stay outside in the shade or the well house.
I don't have any in for you. This side is the north side of the house, and it never sees daylight in the wintertime. And there's parts of the flower bed out there that are still frosty.
Yeah.
It's almost 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
The frost is actually going to start back up here in a little bit.
It is.
I think the high today was only in the 40s.
40s, yeah.
So enough for the frost to melt, but not in the shade.
Right.
We can plop it out there and
It'll be good.
it'll be fine.
Brine turkey.
Brine turkey.
Good. All right, we're almost ready for Christmas.
All right.
All right, well, that is the end of today. I did all the things that I needed to do. I am out of energy now. I'm going to have a hot cup of tea and sit on my booty. We are having leftovers tonight to clean out the fridge to make room for the massive amount of food that is incoming in the next 2 days. No, Daddy, you cannot sit down.
You cannot sit down. I want to stand up.
So, just leftovers tonight, nothing exciting. Reminder, again, don't forget to get your Backwoods Home and or Self-Reliance magazine subscriptions if you want them for yourself. Merry Christmas to you. There's nothing wrong with that. Or Merry Christmas to somebody else who needs it. They're doing 50% off for either a single subscription or the double subscription if you want to do that. So that's going to do it for us. The baby needs a nursing. It's getting grumpy.
Getting grumpy.
Getting grumpy. Is it time to go?
Oh.
Okay.
I thought she was gonna
I
wave.
thought she was gonna wave. Well, I'll take that as a yes.
Can you say
And
bye?
We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Later.